All right, yo. Welcome to another edition of the Geeky Bros podcast. I'm your boy Tactix.
Yo, it's just Darcy here doing what he do.
This is Big Geek Umar. How y'all doing today?
We're good and good, bro.
So, for context, we were doing. Everyone was checking their audio, and
And lighting.
And lighting, and the Darcy here started singing a song in order to check his vocals, and he just kept singing it, and now it's stuck in my head, and I feel like the new song in my head is do, and now these motherfuckers are just making fun of me.
That's how we start things off.
Yeah, that's true.
Amazing.
All right, so how you guys all doing, by the way?
Good. Tired, man. Just busy working, but we won't get into all that.
True.
Darcy?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's been a heavy week for sure. You know, it's been a week of a lot of interesting political events, not in our country, but they've had their spillovers. But it's interesting watching. My favorite meme so far this week has been, here are a bunch of MAGA supporters proving that walls don't work, and then punching a wall. Favorite thing so far.
Well, nonetheless, whatever's been happening down south, we are going to try to at least be a distraction from all the difficulties of the news. Yeah. So let's start us all off. We have quite a lot of geeky news, despite all the influx of other news that's been coming. First things is also the last things that we talked about last week. Apparently, this is a big thing in Hollywood. Ray Fisher is just saying some more stuff, and so throughout the week, he has been he's officially been written out of The Flash, which was apparently the next time Cyborg was going to show up. So it's official; he's been written out. I don't think he cares, but at the same time, he has been kind of talking some shit now. He's like saying that. I think it was like, what's his name? Jeff Johns is no longer going to be attached to Warner Brothers. And Jeff Johns is like, I am. And he's doing a whole bunch of other TV series. So, yeah, Ray Fisher's just kind of, and I think also he denied the fact that he resigned. I think it's like he's trying to make a point that, hey, no, I was fired.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that? So reading the article on that is that, reading through the thread of it, is that he's saying, that they proposed it like he was stepping down. He proposed, and he didn't. I didn't step down. They're writing me out. And I had a point, and I literally just lost it. I have to slide it back over to somebody else because I just lost it.
How about you? Thoughts on any additional thoughts from Ray Fisher's news?
I feel like this guy ruined his career, and it's quite sad because I'm, again, twofold on the subject. Well, first and foremost, we don't really know what happened. He's not being very clear in terms of what exactly went down in regards to his altercation between him and Joss Whedon. Was it? Is that what he's?
Well, yeah. He's said multiple people. It's like Joss Whedon was first, then it was Jeff Johns, and then it was the president of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, the thing with this is, so as a person of color, as a black man, I sympathize, but I'm also of the mind of like, you really have to be very cautious about how you approach this kind of thing when it comes to being wronged in Hollywood, right? Because, you can go one of two ways of this. You can approach it in like a, Martin Luther King type of way where it's like nonviolent, or you can do the Malcolm X version where it's like by any means necessary, right?
Yeah.
The thing with that is that when we look at, just taking it back to like the Black Lives Matter movement and how that whole thing went down with the protest, there was a group of people, a band of brothers, if you will, that got together and supported this cause. So it wasn't like an individual lone ranger fighting for a particular thing, right? And so it was easy for, minorities as a collective to band together and get their point across. Some of it was violent, but for the most part, the way they structured it was, they were exuding their aggression, but they were doing it in a civil-ish kind of way, right?
They were exuding their frustration of the injustice. Yeah,
exactly. Whereas when you're approaching it as like you're just an irate, you just come off as an irate black man, and no, like as hard as it is for me to say this, nobody cares about that shit. Like especially people that are in a position of power, because when you're just one person complaining about something, then you're easily just dismissed. Because, for example, do you guys know who Marcus Chong is? Without even Googling it.
No.
Don't Google it. Darcy was trigger ready, guy. He was ready. Okay, so Marcus Chong actually played Tank in the Matrix movies. And you notice how he was only in one movie. And the situation with that was that something
he was asking for more money.
Something to the effect of he wanted $1 million, and there was a clause in his contract that got breached, and they basically did him dirty or something like that. And he was making all these claims saying that Keanu Reeves isn't as nice as people make him out to be. He actually stole money, and that whole thing about Keanu Reeves giving money back to the special effects guys was just kind of like a cover up for him to basically hide the fact that he stole money from Marcus Chong, essentially, right? So he created all of this static and turbulent, and he was eliciting turbulent behavior, and as a result, he got falsely arrested. He got booted from the movie, and no one's heard of him since. I checked his IMDb, and he hasn't made a movie since 2013. So it's the same thing with Terrence Howard. Same situation where you complain you're a Lone Ranger making arguments and making all these claims and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that you're wrong to do that, but you have to pick your battles and do it in a more strategic way when you're a person of color. Otherwise, when you're fighting in a people that are in a position of power that are white, it's a tough battle to fight on your own.
Yeah. Darcy, you remember your point?
I do, actually. I had to write it down in the middle of this so I didn't forget it. So I'm going to go off of the point where Tactix was talking about the conflicted element of this. So I agree with everything he's saying, and I want to emphasize on the conflicted element of this. The thing that's conflicted for me is that there is the feeling of a conspiracy that Ray is hinting at, right? Yeah. And you could tell this conspiracy would be normal, right? Like in a lot of these situations, because if you look at a movie, every movie is a giant organization that has to be built, right? You have to hire a ton of companies, you got to bring a ton of people in. By the time you're done, you look at a movie, there's 10,000 people every single blockbuster movie, right? So it's like an industry. So when people mess with with the business, if you just mess with you're the only one, then the business is going to try to get rid of you, period, because there's so many people at risk. But the conspiracy that kind of is a thread that he's hinting at was, so you have Hamada, the CEO, right, who hasn't supported what Ray wants him to support and has tried to, as he says, interfere with the investigation, probably because he's trying to get rid of the problem as soon as possible so they can go back to making money. And he identified the fact that the person who wrote the article, now he's called out the guy who wrote the article about how he stepped down when he didn't step down. He called him out, and he's saying that he's also the same person who wrote previous articles that are basically in Hamada's favor, which would make a lot of sense that somebody from Warner Brothers either has a great connection or pumps money into particular news outlets so that they can get the stories out the way that they want. There's got to be somebody who needs some cash who will write the stories the way that they want them written, and he's always the one who's releasing it. So there's clearly also a level of that conspiracy, but at the same time, I agree with what Tactix is saying in the sense that, if you look at this giant organization and you're not going to be strategic about it, as much as you need to fight the fight to win and open the doors, like Denzel Washington will open those doors, if you also burn down the building, you also put so many other people's livelihoods at stake, and you may do more detriment for other Black people behind the scenes that have jobs than the one up front if you don't find the best approach. And in the confliction in this feels like he's right, and it doesn't feel like the best approach.
Yeah, I would say that my 2 cents in this is that I think, if he had stopped when the story lulled for a while, if he had stopped right there, that would have been fine. Because Jason Momoa and even even a little bit Gal Gadot, and I mean a little bit, kind of supported it. If he just stopped right there, cool. But it just kept on going, and I felt that now he's kind of like it's more about him winning as opposed to him like kind of doing anything.
Yo, I gotta say this. Yeah, Jason Momoa was like a fist bump of support, and Gal Gadot was like a pubic hair.
Yeah.
And like, and the thing is, he's replaceable because half his face is missing in the movie. So like, you could literally put anybody in the movie. Like Darcy could play Cyborg, and no one would know the difference.
Yeah,
that may be hella racist, but it's true.
Yeah,
so he fucked up, man. He fucked up, and I feel sorry for him. But damn, man.
So
I feel sorry. I just wish he like got counsel from some legends in the game. You know how to fight this fight. I feel like he just brought the torches out so quick and just burnt everything around him.
So
by himself too.
All by himself. So some other news that went by. Doctor Strange 2, the production kind of halted due to COVID, which is not surprising, but at the same time, crap. But some good news for my boy Darcy, and he may be the only one who may enjoy this news, is that Doom Patrol Season 3 is starting production.
Yeah.
That show's still on? What the fuck? Wow. I thought that shit got canceled, man. I'm sorry, man, but I was like, I have not heard about that show since season 1. I did not know. Wow.
Nigga, stop hating. That show is amazing.
I was like, Doom Patrol. What the fuck? Really? Okay.
All
right.
Yo. Okay, for all my Doom Patrol fans out there, yeah, let's go. First season's been amazing. Second season killed it. I'm waiting for this third season. I know this ain't for everybody.
Yeah, you're talking to like maybe 2 other people, Darcy.
No,
I've
man.
seen the first season, the first episode and a half, and I couldn't get past it, man. Like I was trying.
Yo, I love the weird quirkiness nature of everything and all the depth, and it gets so much weirder. There's literally
respect.
There's literally from the comics. There is literally a sex demon who takes over the house, and there's like sex ghosts everywhere, and it is the weirdest, most disgusting episode, like one of the most, and yet I freaking loved it.
Yo, audience members, I'm not sure if you saw, but Tactix' face was kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, I checked out during that goat episode where they went into some goat ass, and it was like a whole nother universe. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Yo,
I'm out.
Please, a Doom Patrol fan, just drop me a comment. Make me know I ain't the only one. I know I'm not the only one because the show is being renewed. Okay,
evidently, yeah.
It's actually a scary thought for that just crossed my mind. Is Tactix and I, are we the minorities?
Yeah, we look like it.
Yeah, probably. And you know what though? Outside of all the weirdness, it is actually one of the shows with the best character development of all superhero stuff I've seen anywhere. All of the characters go through huge emotional trials every season, and some get more than others, right? Like end of the second season, there's like a couple of characters get really big, but like they actually really develop these characters really, really well. I have not seen this in many, many shows. So
one thing I will say is I'm glad to see Brendan Fraser back because I miss that guy, man. He's had a rough life, man.
Thank God for him.
He's had a rough life.
Yeah, he is so good. You know the best part about it? He plays a character who has the roughest life, like one of the roughest lives. They all have horrible lives. That's why they're all like together. But he's like just a brain at this point, and he's like he's just a shithead. I'm like, how much of this is real? Like I just keep watching it. Like, are you acting or are you just like emoting?
So the last bits of news before we start moving on to our next topic is that it is a rumor, but and frankly there are rumors all the time. But like I would say take it with a grain of salt, as a friend of mine told me. Christopher Nolan might be returning to the Batman franchise.
Don't need it. Don't fucking want it. Let's not do that ever.
Amen.
No. Like it's just I'm not saying he's not good, But he didn't want to do more than 3. He barely wanted to do that third one because, Heath Ledger's passing, right? But like that's respectfully, right? And like that era is done in past. He picks that back up, like the comparisons, everything. Plus, like, given that like Patty Patterson actually completes his film, I expect Matt Reeves to be able to deliver on a similar level of groundedness yet fantastical universe at the same time in some kind of way. We don't need him to come back. I'm just like, no.
T.
Yeah, I agree. Unless he's gonna pick up where he left off with The Dark Knight Rises, then it just like, what's the point in really starting a brand new franchise? Because like Darcy said, you're just gonna be comparing it to his original work, and I just don't see any real point in it. And on top of that, we already have supposedly 2 Batman universes on the way, so it's like, do we really need a third? I feel like we run the risk of
one of those, though.
What's that?
He could be directing one of those, possibly.
But aren't they continuing?
I don't think it's continuing. I think he's just coming back as director.
No.
Okay, well that kind of changes things then. I thought he was going to do it like a brand new one and it was going to be an addition. But to be honest, I still feel like I would want to see someone else kind of take on the role of directing and taking it in a different direction, because I feel like
we had it.
Yeah, and his was like very much grounded, and I appreciated that. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dark Knight is one of my all-time favorite films, right? But
period.
Yeah,
I do want to see. I would like to kind of see Matt Reeves' rendition of it, because I feel like he's also taking it very he's putting it in a very grounded world, but I feel like there's a potential for him to kind of expand on that and make it a little bit more fantastical, and not so much to the point where you get like lost in the fantasy element of it. I still want it to stay very much grounded in what he's supposedly setting up based on the trailer that we saw.
Thing about Matt Reeves that I love from what we've seen is that it's grounded, but it's thematically gothic, which is like very, very Gotham level, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas, Nolan's amazing, but it was very much in our real world.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, I just don't want to see that again. I don't want to ruin it. And
we had it. We don't need more.
And I'm like, could Nolan do something fantastical? Obviously. Would he do a good job with it? Probably not, because he probably in confliction with his desires and goals to what the audiences want right now. And I just think that he would, even if he delivers an amazing Dark Knight 2.0, right? Like he stomps it out of the park. I still feel there's a level of like, that's not what we want right now.
and it seems almost desperate. I'm sure that's not his intention, but it seems like, okay, like
right now it's a rumor. It could be people want to.
No, I'm saying if it actually is confirmed to be true, then it would come off a little desperate, because it's like, I don't know if there's other films have really done all that well. Like Tenet, I hear was okay, but it didn't meet the expectations that people originally had for it. And
was the one he did before this too.
Yeah, and like no one was really talking about that as far as I'm concerned. So
which movie?
Dunkirk. It had more creative and critical acclaim than it did like wide.
It was good, but 1917 was a better film at the same time.
Yeah.
So the last bit of news before we move on would be the Batman animated series is apparently getting a sequel. Personally, I'm not happy with this. I want them to leave it alone. I didn't like. My reason for that is because Young Justice season 3 didn't really grab me, and I was waiting for that for years. I'm kind of not sure if they can capture the magic of Batman animated series. How about you?
I didn't watch, or I didn't click the link that you sent. I just kind of read the headline because I didn't have time, but now that you said that, I'm like, oh, I don't really want that either, because I thought it was going to be like they were going to do it over from scratch, like just do the whole the original show and like update it and whatever. And I was kind of interested in that. Just I don't know why, but I was kind of interested. But sequeling it, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah. T.
No, I don't want it. What I do want is a continuation of where we left off from Batman Beyond, because we left at a major cliffhanger and we never got the closure.
Did we?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I thought they did.
No. They did a conclusion or an epilogue from Justice League, but it wasn't it wasn't a tie-in to the Batman Beyond episode that we left off at, the final episode, because I think they were forced to cancel because it was right around the writer's strike.
Right?
Yeah, so they never got to finish the series.
I agree with that. I'd want that more.
Okay. Well, our Batman news continues because the next segment is heavily involved with the Batman rumor mill regarding Michael Keaton. So at the beginning, it was like Michael Keaton is replacing Ben Affleck as Batman for the DCEU. And then it became that Michael Keaton is going to be the Batman of the DCEU. And then that news was debunked. And now it's like they're discussing what Michael Keaton's role in the DCEU is.
Do you remember the time when even like the idea of choosing a Batman was like a really big deal and people would be like very afraid of it? Now Batman is becoming the town bicycle. Like I'm like, what?
So this leads to a question that I did ask last week that kind of happened naturally. I doubt that Michael Keaton is going to replace Ben Affleck, and I really just hope that Michael Keaton is coming for like a brief stint in Flashpoint and then Batman Beyond as old man Bruce Wayne. But in regards to Ben Affleck, who would you guys want to recast him?
Ben Affleck. I don't know.
I'll go first if you guys need a couple of minutes. I was thinking either John Hamm. He done Black Mirror, that episode that Tactix made me watch, and also he was most notably known for Mad Men.
I love how you started with like Black Mirror over Mad Men. Mad Men was huge.
Yes, but like I only watched like the first season of Mad Men, but I watched that episode of Black Mirror more recently.
Yeah,
and if not him, then Carl Urban, aka Butcher.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And the reason why is because he was phenomenal in Judge Dredd.
Dredd, yeah, man. Okay.
Oh, I never even thought about that one. I was gonna go with the first one, but that second one just no. I'm like,
yeah. I think you killed it, man. I can't think of anyone better than Carl Urban, man. Like when news first circulated that he was rumored to be the new Batman, I was like, oh hell yeah. I couldn't see anyone else being that.
Yeah. Like Ham could be a good Bruce Wayne,
yes.
But I haven't seen him in a ton of like physical stuff, and I want my Batman physical. Okay, I want my Patty Parsons over here complaining about picking up the 5-pound dumbbell.
You know what kills it for me? Why I don't want John Hamm? Those the skip the dishes commercials. Those kill it for me, man. I was like, I can't see that nigga as Batman, yo. Every time I see this dude on YouTube, I'm like, nah, yo, get out of here with that shit.
Yo, I need a commercial. It's like how did we get that? How did we get takeout so fast? Because I'm Batman. and then it cuts to another frame, and it's him pitching the commercial of himself as Batman.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I can't see it anymore, man.
Oh, I actually forgot about that. So, like, what were you guys thinking?
Or I actually didn't have one, and now I don't want to even think. I think you hit the nail on the head, bro.
Yep.
Yep. Who else?
Armie Hammer?
No.
Nah.
As much as like I know he's been up for it before, he's been up for Superman and all that kind of stuff. I'd rather Armie Hammer in like Green Lantern. To be honest.
Yeah.
Great Hal Jordan.
Yeah, because he you could take him serious, you can take him hilarious, you can take him physical. I'd rather him at Hal Jordan. He's just like he's a tall dude too. He actually stands a little taller than Henry Cavill, right? So that'd be interesting. Mm-hmm. But because did you see the movie that Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer did together?
The
Man of something?
Yeah.
Not Man of Tomorrow. It's like Man.
Yeah. It's not that.
Man from Uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, it was overall a pretty good film, and but yeah, seeing them like stacked up against each other, like Armie Hammer's got a touch, got a few inches on him.
And Cavill's a big dude.
Yeah. Cavill's a big dude. You know how much of a gamer I've recently found out that he is?
He's
like,
recently, this thing has been like circulating for years.
No, I know that. Like, I saw about him gaming recently, but then I was watching some stuff and I'm like, I didn't realize he was a gamer like all the way back through and through and through to like being a kid, right? Like when he actually approached to get The Witcher, not the other way around, because he heard about it and he was a big fan of the games. And I was like, I just love when you actually have somebody who is a real fan of the source material and then physically and acting wise matches up, right? He's like, I want to be this character. And it's like, who else would you choose? The guy who knows the games, loves the source material, read the book, and shows up looking like the character.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I like when you see these like really imposing dudes or even females, but then like you find out in their like real life they're actually like fucking nerds, and it's like, oh man, that's dope. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
You're a gym rat and you're a nerd. That's it.
Yeah. Everyone's over here like, oh, what do you do? And he's like, goes back to play with his dog and play The Witcher. Like that's all this guy does when he's done shooting.
Yo, Cavils, you want to come out with us? I can't. I gotta research for my role.
Yeah. I have a quest to complete. Yeah.
All right. So earlier this week, our Mr. Tactix asked us a rather interesting question, which I found myself not prepared to answer, but now I'm prepared. I hope you two are too.
This is the only question I've been prepared for.
Because he asked it himself. It's like he prepped the work, then asked the question, which is the smart way.
My job is done.
So the question is, what are their top 5 most anticipated films of 2021? Now, release, we're not going to talk about that because given COVID, who the hell knows when that's going to happen. But what are your top 5? So, Mr. Tactix, let's start with you.
Oh, and we're doing honorable mentions too, right?
I can't stop you even if I wanted to.
Fucking right. Okay. So I got the controls in this bitch. All right. I can just unmute myself or shut this whole shit down because I'm recording.
Fair.
Damn it.
All right. So my number 1, and this is in no particular order, Matrix 4.
Oh, okay.
Matrix 4. I am ready for that. I am so curious. Yeah, I mean, I'm so curious to see where they're going to take it. I have so many questions. Like, is Neo still blind? How is he even still alive? How is Trinity still alive? Where the hell is Morpheus? Like, the list goes on. So I'm like hella curious about this.
Okay.
Next, obviously, is Spider-Man 3. Doctor Strange is going to be in it. And
slated for this year, though?
I think it's for 2022, man.
Are you sure?
I'll check. Continue.
No, confirm that, because otherwise I'm going to have to pull one of my honorable mentions to the number 2 slot.
Good. And I was hoping you actually saying these in order. You said no particular order, but I'm like, you better be putting these in order. You're the most do.
Okay, December 2021. Fine.
Boom. All right.
Really?
Staying prepared, yo.
December 2021. So like in a year's time.
Yo, it doesn't matter. Yo, nah, it doesn't matter, bro.
But they're
it's
even
still 2021.
They're even that close to be ready with the amount of, or that close to being ready with this many rumors that we've heard about this film.
Well, they're filming right now.
Yeah, the thing is though, like they already know. I feel like all these rumors that we're hearing about Tobey Maguire being it, like if they've already written and they're already filming, then they know ahead of time what they're gonna include in the movie. They can't just start filming and then have all these rumors be up in the air and then put them in last minute, because then that's gonna fuck up the film.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm about to adjust in my list a little. I didn't know that.
All right. So number 2.
Right. That was number 2. Number 3 is A Quiet Place 2. This was supposed to come out around my birthday of last year, but obviously due to COVID, they pushed everything back. So yeah, A Quiet Place was a surprising hit for me. Like I was not expecting it to be as good as it was, and I love that movie. I love the whole element, the quiet. Like basically, it was like the most uncomfortable I've been in a movie theater, simply because you can't eat while you're watching that movie, because all of a sudden you're watching it and then you eat your popcorn and then you hear and you're like, shit, I gotta save this to the end. Like,
yo, man, like my man over here was telling me he was like watching this movie and he felt bad every time he like took one of his popcorns, and then he was like, everyone was looking at me and he was like, I had to slowly put it down.
Yeah, I had to like mash it up into a paste and then just drink my popcorn, bro. Like
you just look over, his whole face looks like one giant Coke experience.
And they're like, yeah, it's crazy, bro. So yeah, A Quiet Place 2 is another one that I'm highly anticipating. Number 4 is Black Widow. I'm curious about this movie, and I like Taskmaster, like the way he looks, and like that whole element of him being able to copy and mimic people's powers and shit. That's going to be interesting to me. Like, you know, because you see elements of like Captain America, Black Panther, Hawkeye. So I think that's going to be really cool and going to make for some really dope action scenes. So I'm looking forward to that. And then number 5, Mission Impossible 7. I love this franchise. Granted, it started off really rocky from the first couple movies, but it really picked up, and I'm in, man. I'm hooked. And like Tom, I was gonna say Tom Hanks. Yeah, Tom Cruise. I don't know why I had Tom Hanks on my mind, bro. I was like, no, that's not right.
Oh man. Okay. All right. In a future episode, we need to go over like taking iconic roles and replacing them with people who make no sense whatsoever.
Oh man. My missions are like a box of chocolates. Oh yeah. Anyway, Tom Cruise, I love his commitment to the franchise, and the fact that he does all of his own stunts is incredible at his age. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I know it's going to be dope. And my honorable mentions are Spiral. I'm not big on, this is the Saw kind of remake. I'm not big on the Saw franchise other than the first 2, and I'm not a big fan of gore. Umar can attest to this, but
I showed him Game of Thrones and he freaked out.
Yeah, that whole scene with the mountain,
his face got like,
yeah, I was like, oh, and it just, yeah, that was very visceral. But yeah, I'm curious because it has Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson in the role, and this is unlike any role that Chris Rock has ever done. He's mostly known for his comedies and stuff like that. So I'm curious as to what the direction with this is. So yeah, that's my honorable mention. Candyman. Now, I never actually saw the original because I was too much of a puss back in the day to watch horror movies and shit. But
there's nothing wrong about not wanting to watch horror.
No, I've outgrown that shit now. So, but the fact that Jordan Peele is attached to this makes me very curious about this now. So, and I mean, he has a small body of work, but a good one nonetheless. With
he retired, right?
He what?
He retired from acting like completely. He's like, I'm not going back.
Oh, acting. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, whatever.
Tired from the movie business. I was
like, yeah, what? I was like,
like I need to see how Get Out and the other one, I can't remember their name right now. Us and how this universe. I have a theory on how his universe is going to play out off of that last film.
Is that actually confirmed? Like, is he building a universe around all of this stuff?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but I believe it. I can see connection between those two films.
This is the first time I've heard this too, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Yeah. No, that's dope. So yeah, Candyman, Mortal Kombat. I feel like we deserve a really good Mortal Kombat movie. We haven't really had one, although the first one, come on, like
the first
one's a guilty pleasure. Like when you look back, it's not a great film by any means, but it's like, you know, you grew up on the games, you're watching that movie with like a smile on your face regardless, right? So then, yeah.
Honorable honorable mentions is as long as your original list.
Okay, I'm almost done. I got 2 more. All right, so
you have 10 films you're waiting for?
Bro, guy, you know how many good movies are coming out next year? How can you choose just like 5, man? So anyway,
point.
number 4. I'm almost done. Yo, let me have my shine, bro, because I'm not gonna be able to answer the anime question, so that's why.
You better fucking answer that question.
Number 4 is Morbius, and Morbius. I want to see it. And then number 5 is Venom 2. I'm done, bitches. Go on.
Oh, come on, man.
Yo, I
You
mean,
hated the first one.
Yeah, but I'm curious. I wouldn't say I hated it. I just strongly disliked it.
That is
hate is a strong word.
No. I recall you called me and you freaked out as much as you freaked out over Wonder Woman 84.
Hey, man, if it's not on video, then I never said that shit.
Yo, first off, Venom 1 is garbage. The person who has the most realistic character and character development is the girlfriend's doctor boyfriend. He's the only one that makes choices you make sense with. And the only other good scene in the entire movie is when Venom calls him a pussy for not jumping out the building. I'm like, that's it. Okay. And second of all, can you imagine Tom Hanks doing those running scenes as a Forrest Gump style? You know, Tom Cruise already runs funny. You know,
Did you see Tom Hanks holding on to going swimming in that Mission Impossible movie, The Way from Castaway?
Oh man, actually, I haven't even seen Castaway. That's a movie I've never watched. Yeah, I know.
It's a good movie, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so Darcy, your list, and if you can keep it to 5.
No, man, keep it to 10.
Okay, I have 2 honorable mentions. I'll just say that up front, okay? And one of them was on my top 5 until Tactix told me Spider-Man 3 is coming out. I did not know about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and these are in order, okay? Black Widow, number 1. I'm excited for what I've seen from that movie. I just need to know because we've been waiting for so damn long. And unlike Wonder Woman 84, I actually care going in. Like, I didn't really care about Wonder Woman 84 going in because the trailers didn't really hype me that much. And then I got in there, I was like, oh, that's why they didn't hype me that much. I didn't have much sustenance. But it was enjoyable, but it wasn't great. But Black Widow, I'm super excited about, okay? And it's finally time for Scarlett Johansson to get a starring role, even if she's dead anyways. We'll find out. And then the Suicide Squad. I really want to see the new one because I first of all need the first one to be redeemed. I need certain characters to be good because that first film I knew it actually could have been an amazing film, but you know how studios are. Hey, let's get the people who did the trailer to make the movie because that makes sense. You know, it's like saying the person who sold me a Brita filter should do the plumbing in my house. Like, I don't think so. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Okay, now Spider-Man 3 just went to 3rd on my list, 3 for 3. You know, boom, boom, boom. But just because I'm like, you know, I'm going to be hyped for that no matter what. Then 4th on my list is Mortal Kombat. My boy Mehcad Brooks is in that. I love that first one as a guilty pleasure. It is a horrible film. I was even disappointed as a kid while watching it because I was like, come on, yo, you're not gonna give me more fighting. But I still had guilty pleasure of it anyways. And of course, you know, your temple Buddhist monk's gonna be a white dude, right?
Yeah.
But no, they've said it's gonna be rated R. Everything I've seen so far, the dedication I've seen from the actors from behind the scenes, and as well the decisions that the directors and producers, whatever, like who are all first timers, have kind of made with pushing the release date without saying saying no dates. Just some of the stuff, the decisions they made me think that they're being thoughtful, right? Yeah. And that they care a lot about this. And so I hope that they'll really come through on it. And then 5th is Coming to America 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for that. You know, it was a surprise out of nowhere, but I'm just excited to see it. Now, honorable mentions, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I just need this thing to be over, okay? I'm like, I was watching all of the stuff leading up to the release of the ultimate, the ultimate cut that's not really an official ultimate cut that people have spliced together. I watched that. I followed that journey. That was exciting. And, you know, it was good to watch that version of the film. because I have it on my hard drive. If you guys haven't seen it, but I just need to know. I just need this to know. We just got to move forward, okay? And I just need this chapter to be over, and I'm hoping it's good. And then A Quiet Place 2, because The Quiet Place 1 was amazing, and I've seen a lot of the stuff about The Quiet Place 2, the storyline and everything like that, and it just looks amazing. And the fact that they actually have an actual deaf actor playing the role of that girl that they run into, and how that plays into it, and how I was watching, Emily Blunt and all the kids like learning from her and teaching each other as they were filming. That just makes me go like, so much investment, so much inclusion. I need to see that. So
fair. All right. Well, my list.
I got 7 more. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing.
So I love the fact that the top 5 wasn't even enough for you guys. we should have done top 10.
Well, I had 5, and then Tactix started talking about Spider-Man 3 and A Quiet Place 2, and they ended up on my list.
All right. So for me, I would say my number 1 is Dune. 100%. I cannot wait to watch that film. Like, I've been waiting, and I'm still waiting, and I'll continue to wait. So yeah, Dune, just please, God, let it be as good as it can be. Please, just let that happen.
I hope it's good.
Yeah. Second, Spider-Man 3. I didn't have that on the list. I definitely had to readjust it since Tactix made us aware of that. So yeah, just that is also another one I'm really hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah, and not a clusterfuck.
Yeah, oh God, please don't, please don't. Number 3 is No Time to Die, James Bond film.
Yeah,
I definitely want to watch that, and also that's another. Basically, all the ones that are my list are like, please God, let them be good, because I've just been holding on because I do not want this to end on a bad note.
You just hit me hard, because like for me, James Bond, like I enjoy it and I'll go watch every single one. It's not on my top 5, but it's really like James Bond's out, and I grab the girl and we go watch popcorn and we go to the movie theater, and I can't go to the movie theater. Oh fuck! Sorry, it just hit me. That's a movie theater movie for me right there.
T, aren't you waiting for this one too, or?
I am, but I'm kind of like you in the sense that I hope it doesn't end on a bad note, because Spectre was kind of underwhelming for me.
Fuck was that?
Yeah.
Anyway, so then number 4 is Eternals. I really want to see that, because like that one has so much diversity and progressive stuff, both on the screen and also behind the scene, and I really want them to like. It really sounds like they're taking it seriously, and I really want Eternals to be done well, because that would really open up the world. And just, yeah, I really want to see how that gets done.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And my number 5 is is I'm a little interested in seeing how Raya the Last Dragon comes out. It had a little bit.
Yeah. What? What movie is that?
You guys do not pay attention when I send you trailers.
Raya the Last Dragon.
It's a CG film. I think. Actually, let me just double check.
Yeah, I wouldn't have saw no shit like that.
Dragon. I'm searching our group chat right now. Soul of Dragon. Man, I don't see no Raya Last Dragon in here, bro.
I'm just trying to find out who's behind it. It's Walt Disney. So, is it a Pixar film?
Right. Looks like it.
That's like a Pixar film.
Anyway,
this is your top 5?
It's my number 5. Yeah, I'm actually kind of really interested to see what that's like, because also they're doing areas of the world that people don't really make. Well, the Western world doesn't do a lot of movies about, so it's actually quite fascinating. Honorable mentions are Black Widow and Morbius.
Damn. That Raya movie actually looks hella fire. Like the design on that looks beautiful.
That's what I'm intrigued. I'm gonna resend you guys the trailer.
Yeah, motherfucker, you didn't send the trailer first time.
Oh, that must have been my other friends.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna start throwing that out there, right? Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna remember that.
Burn that torch, Ray Fisher.
Watch what I put in the description of this episode, bro.
Oh no, no. All right, so our next topic, our last topic for today. And Tactix, I swear to God, you better have at least two, or I'll kill you. So the question we got.
All I have are two, bro.
I've only seen 2 animes in my life in completion.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. All right, so a couple weeks back, we got a question, and we answered about like our favorite villains. And one of our watchers, our audience members, Elliot, wrote in a comment section saying that we didn't include any anime, and it kind of blew my mind. In fact, I'm like, oh shit, I actually didn't even consider anime. So now we are going to list our top 3 favorite villains from the anime world, or like our anime watching. So I feel bad because I'm constantly making Tactix go first, but after what he just said, I really want to know what his 2 were. But Darcy, how about you give us your top 3?
Okay, I'm struggling on my third one a little bit, but first one, Madara Uchiha. Uchiha? Yeah, I'm saying that last one right. Uchiha. Okay. I loved it because when he came in, and I like him more over the final villain of the series because I felt there was so much and I'm trying not to say too much because Tactix, you haven't finished Shippuden yet, have you?
You can say whatever you want, bro.
Okay.
That's a lost cause for me, man.
Okay. Sorry. So for context, the reason why I'm laughing so maniacally is because I've been trying to get Tactix to watch Naruto Shippuden for 5 years now.
Yeah, going on 6.
Going on 6. And he has gotten Tactix. How far have you gotten on Shippuden?
Like 15 episodes.
What's the last thing you remember seeing?
Yo, they were chasing this motherfucker for like 10 of those episodes. So yeah, that's about it.
he gets back to the village and Tactix like, I'm done. They're
not even back at the village yet, man. They've been trying to save Gaara for like 10 episodes.
Oh my God, you're that.
I'm like, this guy, if this was real life, he would have been dead a long time ago. Why is this taking so long for you guys to save this guy?
Yo, that's a good actual part of the fucking show. I don't know why you checked it out.
The guy gives me a call. He's like,
no, okay, you know what? And Umar can attest to this because he agrees as well. The fact of the matter is that once I started watching My Hero Academia and how the pacing is in comparison to Naruto, I feel spoiled in a way, right? Where it's like now that I've watched so much of My Hero Academia, I can't go back to Naruto with that same level of slow pace because it's like watching paint dry for me. Like I can't sit through that, man. It's like it's entertaining, but it's like it takes so long for them to do anything because they spend like 20 minutes speaking about the moves that they're going to do on a mother. I'm like, don't talk about it, just do it. Like, just literally just stop saying, all right, I gotta bulge my fist up and then channel my chakra and then I'm gonna throw it in his face. Like, and I'm like, you could have just done that already. I don't need you to explain it. This is not a novel where you have to like lay out everything that you're gonna do. Just please do it. So
well, one, I love the evolution of Shogun anime. You got like Dragon Ball Z, which took like 3 months for a 3-minute battle, and then Naruto is like faster than that, and then you get to My Hero Academia. But actually, by the time you get to the end of the series, it's slow and fast at the same time. But when they have these like epic battles, they're super fast. But like then they have a lot of stuff in between them. Anyways, Madara Uchiha, I loved him because I loved how much intertwining into the history of Naruto he was, and how much he manipulated. And when he came out, like that first battle you had when he was in the paper form, and he literally, it's like Tactix, you haven't seen this fight. This guy literally faces off in a ninja war against like
an army,
like 10,000 soldiers, and just bitch slaps all of them by hand.
My
Like,
favorite part was like he's standing by himself against an army of like 10,000 people, and they are praying for like God's help to fight him.
yeah, like and he's like standing beside a guy, and he's like, all right, let me jump into this, and you just be like, who the hell goes like 1v10,000? You know what I mean? And in that is like Hokages and Naruto, and like he doesn't care, and like I don't want to spoil it too much, but like the double planet drop, like, and that was the first fight.
Yes.
And like when you got to like the guy versus his fight, holy shit! Like what Guy does, oh my god! Like he was so epic. He was so epic, and he was scary. Like every time he came in, you were literally scared for your characters. Like he was just on a different god level. Then my second favorite one is Light Yagami. Even though he was the hero of the story, he was really the villain of the story.
Death Note, yeah.
In Death Note, and it's just I actually had to switch it up because I actually had L down first, but I was like, because he's also a villain, but Light Yagami is just like darker, and it's just amazing. And then my last one, I feel like I'm debating between multiple different villains because I don't feel like any one of them is super strong for me. But right now I'm on King Bradley from Full Metal Alchemist.
I love him. And
I'm gonna honorable mention Jiren from Dragon Ball Super. I just love that battle between. If you haven't watched it, it's between. He's just like he's like a Madara Uchiha level like fighter in the Dragon Ball world, and it's just awesome.
Okay, Tactix. Let's hear your 2. Hopefully 3.
Fuck. Okay. I don't know, man. I guess the guy with the hands on his face from My Hero.
Oh, Shigaraki?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not bad. I like Gaara from the first Naruto.
Okay.
He was good. He was a good villain at that point.
Yeah.
Not through the rest of it though.
Well, yeah. Now he's like he's turned a new leaf, but at that time, I was like, man, how are they going to redeem this character?
They really do redeem that character by a long mile.
Yeah, I guess that's it for me, man. Oh wait, yeah, no, that's it.
And I'm out.
Okay, fine. All for one.
Thank you.
Yeah. He didn't make my list because I don't feel like we got enough time with him yet.
I'm just throwing him in there just because he's the only one I could think of. But I haven't seen enough of him to really say, oh, he's a badass villain. Like I know he's got potential to be like really, really fucked up, but I just haven't seen enough of him to really make that determination yet. So yeah, that's my list. Let's move on, please.
Torture over here for this man.
All right. So thank you for that Tactics. Bastard.
Got me sweating over here, man. Holy.
I saw you drinking water the whole time. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go number 3, number 2, and number 1. So my number 3 choice, even though I watch a lot of anime and even though I've seen a lot of villains, I'm gonna have to say that the most impressed I've gotten in the last couple of years is Isabella from Promised Neverland.
Yeah, I considered that one too, but I feel like she's like a villain and not a villain. Like she's a victim.
She's both.
Yeah, I agree.
Step aside.
I just wanted to feel important. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like she's a victim, but also she's a villain, and like because the thing is, you think that because she's like human, and also because she's gone through what all these kids have gone through, she's gonna have their backs in some ways, but it's not until like the absolute end that she shows even a glimmer of going to like hold back against them. Like she's always been 100%, and I'm like, yo, she's smart too. Like. These kids are not stupid, and they're doing a much better job than I would right now. But at the same time, she's always able to stay one step ahead. So then again from a recent anime I've watched, who has utterly terrified me. I'm gonna butcher his name, but his name is Betelgeuse Romanée-Conti. Basically like he is just horrifically terrifying, and just he's from ReZero, and he basically looks kind of like the Joker, just with a mushroom haircut. Oh, I got your attention with that one, Tactix. You started checking your phone, and then I'm like, wait, the Joker, what? Yeah, Betelgeuse is terrifying. He's psychotic. He makes the Joker look calm, and he's also really just fucked up. Anyway,
I'm trying to Google that, and I'm like, pedal geese. I'm just getting geese pedaling through the water.
it's an interesting name, for sure. But yes, he's definitely my number 2, and my number 1 is Sosuke Aizen from Bleach.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen it.
I will have to say that Bleach was possibly the most disappointing anime I've ever watched, because it kind of did the same thing as Underworld. It had fantastic story elements and like potential and like powers and mythology and even characters, and they just threw it out the window. And I'm like, fuck you. Just fuck you. Basically, Tactics. You know how people say that Batman's not their favorite superhero, and you say "fuck you." That's how I feel. So yeah, Sosuke Aizen, because he's brilliant. He is utterly brilliant. He has every avenue squared up. He's barely surprised, and his intelligence outweighs his superior fighting skills, which is, even just like on power and skill alone, he is literally outmatching everyone else. But then you throw in his brain, and then you throw in his power, which is like complete hypnosis. Like any one thing would be a difficult thing for anyone to fight. He has all three, and he is terrifying. Like I would surrender immediately if this guy was my villain. I'd be like, no, I'm going to succumb, and I'm going to bow down, and yeah, whatever you want, man, I'll do. Yeah. And my honorable mentions are Muzan from Demon Slayer. Tactics, have you finished Demon Slayer yet?
Continue with your honorable mentions, bro. We want to hear. Come on, man.
I got an honorable mention too, by the way.
Oh my god. Anyway, so honorable mention is Muzan from Demon Slayer. It's
a good choice.
A fantastically interesting villain. I'm still waiting to see where they lead with him, but like from the season finale, just how he was. The season finale, I would say that in that opening scene with him with his lower six.
I know, man.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, that scene with the lower six and him like cross-dressing.
Woo!
My man is like, he is very comfortable with his self-confidence to be able to cross-dress and like make people feel like bad for being like, why is he dressed like that? And he's like, I'm your master. Why are you even thinking?
As he should be.
Yes. So Muzan is my first honorable mention, and I gotta say, even though I'm not a fan, I stopped watching the Hunter X Hunter, which I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but Hisoka was a really fascinating villain. I feel bad that the series went down the ant arc that it did for 60 episodes, which caused me to stop watching it. And yes, I'll probably getting a lot of hate. I don't care for ants, and they can go fuck themselves. Fuck you, fight me. Anyway, so but Hisoka was fantastic. So that was my second honorable mention.
Dope. My honorable mention, and I almost want to switch him out with King Bradley, but probably I don't know. They're close. Is Sato from Ajin.
Ooh.
For me, amazing. They have to leave some kind of an impression on me, right? Like long lasting. Yeah. And yeah, he's one of those ones. He's so cold, he's so calculated. And I was watching stuntmen react and like these animation show, and they're talking about like things, how you would really fight. And they actually took an episode from Ajin, which is funny for stuntmen because it wasn't actually like it's 3D, but he was talking about how they move and how very realistic it is, and it's actually based on something. And I think they actually used some mocap to capture some of the movement for that show, which was even more crazier. But there's like a scene where like they're shooting at him to knock him out with like tranquilizers, because once they have to capture these guys because they can't die, and if they like lose a limb, it'll just grow back. So like they shoot him, they catch him in the arm, and he immediately puts his arm against the wall, then cuts it off, and then keeps going at them. You're like, this, just the way he thinks in tactical battle is crazy.
He also shot himself in the head because he also got hit with some of the tranquilizers, and it was like, no, can't let that happen. Bam! I was like, fuck.
Yeah, just the way he thinks and fights, like he literally faced off an army by himself, and he just kept dying and coming back, and he just outthought them, and it's impressive.
All right, so there it is.
Yo,
good list, guys. Good list. I was highly entertained.
Especially Tactix coming up here with the big guns.
Yo, heavy hitters, man. Heavy hitters, yo. All right. Well, that's all, folks. Yeah. I'm your boy Tactix.
It's just Darcy.
And this is Big Geek Umar. Live long and prosper, y'all. Like and subscribe.